were indestructible. The Lords of Iron. We swore we would do anything to protect the last city. Some of us paid the ultimate price. I am all that remains. We thought we had sealed away the plague for eternity. But now, it has returned. And this time, with a fallen army. It is time to avenge my brothers and sisters. Stand with me, Guardian. Prove yourself worthy, and the Iron Lords will rise again.
Rated T for Teen. Pre-order Destiny Rise of Iron and get the Iron Gjallarhorn.
I know what you're thinking right now. We get a Gjallarhorn? You're bringing the Gjallarhorn back.
We are. We're bringing it back.
On behalf of a grateful Guardian Nation, I thank you. Come on, bring it in. Thank you so much. But do I have to pre-order to get my Gjallarhorn?
So everybody can get Gjallarhorn.
Everybody, okay.
There'll be a brand new quest that players can embark on.
Every player of Rise of Iron can get a Gjallarhorn as a reward for completing a quest.
Correct.
But if I pre-order it,
you get the exclusive Iron Gjallarhorn version.
Comes in black.
It does.
All right. With that hot button question out of the way, let me introduce you to our audience. And check out our audience today. Chat is completely on fire right now. I'm going to ask Twitch Master Scott to go into sub-only mode so that I can try to read something from this raging waterfall of enthusiasm. These people have all gathered together to meet you guys, to meet the creative leaders who are leading a brave team of Bungie developers who are creating Rise of Iron, bringing a new adventure to life for you to experience and to embark upon. And they are Game Director Christopher Barrett.
Hello, everyone.
Good morning. Welcome back to our Twitch set.
Yes, it's been a little while.
It has been a little while. And Executive Producer Scott Taylor.
How's it going, Deej?
I am thrilled to have you here.
Really, really exciting for you.
For me personally,
I'm
yes.
sure. This is
exciting
great.
for me personally.
I'm glad we could make this happen for you.
Sincerely, though, these are my favorite moments at Bungie where we can introduce the people who make these games to the people who play these games and help them understand how much enthusiasm and passion that you invest into these projects because they do the same thing on their end. So we haven't had you back on Twitch since you and I stood up in our theater to reveal House of Wolves.
It's true, yeah.
And that was a great moment for the Destiny community, I thought. I felt like you guys, in creating House of Wolves, gave the Guardians a lot of the things that they wanted, and also gave our community a great moment with a reveal stream like this, where they could all sort of converge on one place and fully understand that the best answer to the question, are people still playing that game, is hell yeah.
And you've leveled up since then. You were standing up. Now you have like a studio,
yes,
like your own show.
Because of your willingness to share.
You're so fancy.
Show up and share some awesome stuff. We have our own permanent home now. So we're going to use that today to talk about what you're working on now. The House of Wolves is back with something called Rise of Iron. What is it with you guys and wolves, by the way?
Yeah, as you can see from my shirt, we certainly love wolves.
Yeah, you're kicking it old school. You got some 8-bit wolves.
Yep.
Yeah, we should make that shirt available in the Bungie store.
Can we do that?
Let's plug. All right, let's move on. Let's pretend that we're at a cocktail party full of Destiny fans. These things do exist.
Sure.
Okay. And I was living in a cave, and I didn't know that this was coming. And I said, "Hey, I love Destiny. What's coming up? What are you guys working on?" You would say what about Rise of Iron?
So Rise of Iron, it's the next great adventure in the Destiny universe. It's going to have, it's a large expansion. It's going to have all the stuff players have come to love from these, our releases. It's going to have new story campaign. It's going to have new characters, new missions, new PvP maps, gear, weapons, all that stuff. So it's going to be a large expansion.
And when do I get it?
So as you saw in the trailer, it's September 20th.
Yeah.
And it comes out for the PS4 and the Xbox One.
Our first release on next gen only.
That is correct.
Interesting.
Yes.
So those of you Guardians who are on the PS3 or the Xbox 360 will have plenty to say about how we can upgrade your hardware and bring you along on this adventure. But for now, let's dig a little bit deeper into what we mean by a large expansion. So I want to take us through this just line by line. First and foremost, especially in the minds of many of our players, we're telling a new story. There's a new campaign. So what can we find in that?
Right. So so you've got the story of the Iron Lords.
Yeah. Everyone, welcome Twitch Master Scott to the set. Just doing a little bit of troubleshooting.
So we have the brand new cinematic story. We have new CG cinematics, new in-game cinematics, a big campaign, new missions, new story missions. We have a whole bunch of new quests, end-game quests, that kind of stuff.
Okay. And you're taking us to some new places.
Right.
Places we've never been before.
Yep. So we have a place called the Plague Lands, which is a new zone, which is off from the Cosmodrome, inside old Russia. So it's this forbidden, dangerous place that Guardians haven't been able to go for centuries. That has been locked off by the Vanguard, by the Iron Lords long ago. So you'll get to explore that. There's also Fellwinter Peak, as you may know the name Fellwinter from Fellwinter's Lie.
Oh yes, the dreaded shotgun.
Yep, a lot of people have seen the end of that.
Yeah, brought to an end by that.
And then the Wall, which is where players first began their journey long ago when they first began Destiny. You'll get to go back. It's changed, which you'll see in a moment. It's changed significantly. You'll get to run inside the wall, on top of the wall.
Okay. Beyond the wall.
Beyond the wall.
Okay. And this is what defines the Destiny player experience for so many people in our community. I'm sure so many people in our raging chat room right now. The cooperative experiences that bring Guardians together as new teammates and old friends. Talk to us about, well, if we go back into the past again, when we were talking to players about House of Wolves, one of the things we had to tell them is that there is no raid.
What?
But this is true. We've covered that story extensively.
Okay.
However, in Rise of Iron, go ahead.
There is definitely a raid in Rise of Iron. That's easier. This is good. And so yes, a new raid, which obviously I can't tell you much about.
No spoilers.
Raids are mysteries. That entire team would come downstairs right now and just beat the crap out of us.
The door's locked though, right?
Yeah, let's lock the door and talk about the raid.
But I'm not going to talk about it.
No.
But it's very exciting, very cool. Of course, new strikes and new strike and some returning favorites. So we're going to bring back some favorites and thematically tie them to this.
The story that you're telling now. Cool.
Yeah, and then of course with the new zone, the Plague Lands, we'll make that come alive like any other place in Destiny.
Yeah.
And so we have new patrols and new public events and secrets to find.
Nice. And experiences we can share with Guardians that we've never even met before.
Yes.
So the living social world of Destiny.
Absolutely.
Yep. Okay, and as we saw in the trailer, with Lord Saladin as a central figure in this new story that you're telling, you got to think the Crucible is going to weigh pretty heavily in the player experience.
There's a lot to talk about the Crucible. Actually, we're going to get more details about that later because it's a big conversation, lots to say.
Yeah.
But I can say there's new maps. There's an incredible new mode, which I played yesterday and got people looking at me a lot as I yelled very loudly.
Indeed.
And the 12 people in the room there are going to laugh knowingly because I was yelling very loudly. And new features, which we'll talk about later this summer.
Like you said, yes, we will have all the right conversations with players of the game and other people in the studio who have worked on those things. So today begins a very long conversation about Rise of Iron. There's plenty of time between now and September 20th to unpack all of these things to a greater degree. But tell me right now, how much does all of this cost me?
Right, so $30, September 20th, Xbox One, PS4.
So $30 US. Consult your exchange rate calculators appropriately. So $30 is the price for all of this.
Yes.
Now that we've got all of the pieces on the board, let's clear that board and talk more about the heart and soul of this new experience that you're creating. Talk to me as creators about your inspirations for the new corners that you're sending us into and the stories that you'll tell when we get there.
Sure. So whenever we began a new game or define a new destination, what we like to do is we create a postcard image, is what we call it. And so this is the postcard image that we came up with for Rise of Iron. So what that does is it tries to encapsulate all the main themes, the elements of that particular release in one image and kind of capture the feeling we want. So we have here Lord Saladin, his back to the camera, looking longingly past the broken wall in the Cosmodrome where players first began their journey. His tattered cloak flapping in the wind with the Iron Lord sigil on the back. He is so awesome. He actually gets to break the fashion boundaries and wear a cloak in the world of Destiny, even though he is a Guardian. Yeah. I mean, a Titan. So you have the Cosmodrome wall. The Cosmodrome has changed significantly, as you can see in this image. The weather has come in. It's a much darker tone.
He's flanked by feral beasts.
Of course, yes, wolves. And what's beyond the wall? What happened to the wall? What's lurking there is something that players will find out in their adventures.
Okay. And the other thing they'll find out, and this is especially intriguing for me as somebody who has played a lot of Iron Banner, you're going to delve into the backstory of those same Iron Lords. And so talk to me about this setting and how that's going to satisfy that experience.
Yeah, so this is Felwinter Peak, which we talked about a moment ago. So this is where the Iron Lords once held watch over old Russia and sort of protected humanity. So this is the Iron Temple. And back hundreds of years ago is when they were using this outpost, and now it's since all the chaos has happened and the big battle that happened long ago. Now Saladin is the last of the Iron Lords, and so players will have to journey back to Felwinter Peak and take it back to begin their adventure.
So this is an image from the trailer, an enormous construct. You can see a tiny little Guardian walking along that bridge to enter that space and confront whatever horrors are contained within. But this throws back to the backstory that was basically we scratched the surface of in the trailer, where the Iron Lords confronted an ancient evil and sacrificed themselves to contain that.
Yeah, the central mystery of the game is what happened, and then now something's back. We actually call that the technical plague, the technological plague. It's called Siva, is what we call this, the fictional name.
Okay.
So we're going to learn a lot more about that in the game, and we don't want to get too much into the story, but it does have to do with that battle long ago.
Yes.
And then now you confronting that terrible thing.
Okay. And although there are clues, the world always tells its own story. It always has its own way of exposing more details to us. We've seen diamond-shaped doorways like this in Destiny. The boundaries that kept us separated from, say, Rasputin's lair.
Yeah. Right.
So it seems as if we're delving into more themes of Golden Age technology and sort of the ghosts from the past.
Yeah, so this is where Siva was once locked away, this horrible plague that happened, like the Iron Lords sacrificed themselves to put an end to this and stop it.
But Lord Saladin.
All but Lord Saladin, yep.
And ever since, he has been training the Guardians.
Yep.
With his...
since the beta.
Since the Destiny beta, yes.
Yep.
Lord Saladin has been appearing in the tower and pitting Guardians against each other, and welcoming them to fight the most dreaded combatants in the world of Destiny, each other.
It's really fun to take a ritual that's been going on that long, and poke at it and kind of see, why is he doing this? And start asking those questions and digging into that lore and just expanding that story.
Yeah, it's such a great image, Saladin standing in front of this flaming gong, and players have been so invested in this event for so long.
Certainly,
and all these great weapons and all this bits of lore that they've heard about, and now it's this great opportunity for us to really delve in and figure out, let players know what's the backstory to this, what is all this about, bringing some of these elements into a whole PvE campaign and story and a whole release. So. Here's an example, one of the weapons from the original weapons from Iron Banner, Yolder's hammer, so players will get to find out who is Yolder. I mean, that's going to be really exciting.
Why does he have a heavy gun named after him?
She.
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 That was good. Yep.
Very good.
Big reveal.
Big, yeah.
We're learning so much today.
Exclusive information.
Yep. Yep.
So the brothers and sisters from
right.
the Iron Lords, their memories are kept alive by Lord Saladin, not just in the weapons that he gives us so that we can add to our arsenal, but also in dimly lit halls like this one. Talk to me about this setting and what's happening there.
Yeah, so this is a concept piece that shows the mausoleum at the top of Fellwinter Peak, where the statues of each of the fallen Iron Lords were erected in memory of the great sacrifice that their sacrifice to save humanity and to lock away this horrible plague. And you can see also some elements here of the sigil, the wolf sigil carved into the ceiling here. You have the tree that has also been on the Iron Lord sigil, the Iron Banner sigil, in person here. So players will get to see a lot of where those elements came from in this spot. And this plays into the some cool moments in the end game that we won't talk about yet.
Okay.
But, we'll see that eventually.
It's really neat though. Like these expansions. That's right. Too fast. They really do let us kind of find an area of the game that is kind of untapped and as far as lore and story and flesh it out. And so that's what we really look for these expansions to do. And we're excited about this one. Yeah, absolutely.
Satisfy some of those player curiosities.
Absolutely.
Who is Lord Saladin? Why do I have a shotgun named after someone named Fellwinter?
Yeah, those are super awesome questions to ask, and then you start unwrapping that, and that's just fun for the team and
fun for the
fun
player.
for the fans. Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely. Okay, cool. So let's fast forward to the time and place that the players of our game inhabit, the current Guardians from the Tower. And your new story brings us full circle back to the place where every adventure began.
Yeah, so time has passed, things have changed. Here you see Lord Saladin patrolling old Russia, where he once had that great battle. He's sort of keeping watch over the Cosmodrome, sort of hoping the horrible stuff that killed all his friends doesn't return.
But Siva remains contained.
Yeah.
And this is the first time that we've seen our hero from the Tower unmasked. So, getting acquainted with that enigmatic figure from the Tower is going to be a lot of fun for many of our players. Now, I have to ask. He's flanked by his own wolf pack.
Right.
Do I get to raise my own wolf pack?
You might, but not in Rise of Iron. Yeah,
in life deeds, you can do whatever you want.
In life, I can do whatever I want.
Yeah, I think it's
Destiny,
illegal.
Lord Saladin is still more of a badass than I am.
You tend to find wolves where Saladin is.
Okay.
That tends to be what we're discovering.
You may see them roaming some of the social space, for example, or hanging out as sort of fun flavor in the.
Okay, so he is the talisman of the Iron Lord.
Yep.
Can you see the mountain in the background there? I think if you look very closely.
Yeah, through the
You can see
textures in the
Fellwinter's Peak in the
snow.
back there,
Okay,
overlooking.
so Fellwinter Peak overlooks old
Yes,
Russia.
correct.
And he comes down to patrol and make sure that Siva is not contained. But as we discovered in the trailer, Siva is not contained. And our old friends, the Fallen, have burrowed deep into the Cosmodrome and discovered some of those Golden Age vaults.
So yeah, the Fallen are big jerks, as you know, and they dig into all kinds of stuff that they're not supposed to. That's sort of their nature, and so the Fallen, I think, as you've seen before, sort of are infatuated with technology and sort of old machinery and stuff like that. You've got the servitors and the shanks, and sort of you've got hints of that in the game currently. But this is taking it to a whole new level. They've raised their jerk quotient up a whole notch and have sort of unearthed this technological plague and used it to transform themselves and sort of mutated their bodies, and they're sort of walking
jerks.
Yeah,
walking
they're not
mutant
afflicted. They're
tech
embracing
jerks.
this.
Yeah.
They're augmenting
Oh,
themselves
absolutely.
with
This
this
is-
technology
Yes. Yep.
purposefully.
Yep, they're trying to turn themselves basically into machine gods and take over Earth, which sounds like a pretty jerky.
If you hang out with Chris, you hear the words machine gods more than when you hang out with other people. That's just something, if people are curious about development.
It sounds cool.
Yeah,
It does sound cool.
That's why we let you create these experiences for us, Chris.
The experience is about machine gods.
Machine gods.
That's
Well,
right.
Lord Saladin is having none of this machine god business. So he essentially issues a call to all of the Guardians to rally to the banner of the Iron Lords and to confront this new threat.
Absolutely.
He's so cool. He doesn't use a flashlight.
Yeah, he has a torch.
He's
Yep.
old school.
He's
just
old
like
he's
you.
old school.
He
Yep.
doesn't shave.
Yep.
Just like
Yep.
I guess you're doing this on purpose.
Yes, this is completely on purpose. Yeah, I manicured it just for the reveal stream just today. I like to look nice for our players.
Yeah.
Yes, the studio will adhere to a grooming standard.
But this is becoming an Iron Lord's part of the game. So.
Yeah. So I mean, that's the coolest part of this. Players will get to join this adventure with Saladin and take his side, and then eventually become an Iron Lord themselves, which is the I think the core fantasy.
So we're really excited. This image here's from the trailer, and this is at the bottom of the peak. Right. So they're ascending. It's the beginning of your journey.
Yeah, quite literally following in the footsteps of the Iron Lords. And as you were telling me, your journey begins with returning to Fellwinter Peak and reclaiming it.
And I'd love to just take a second. The World Art team on this game has been absolutely incredible, and this is just every time I look at this, I'm blown away. So that's really awesome.
Yeah, it's going to be cool. So you basically ascend this mountaintop and take it back. Drive out the Fallen and take it over so that Saladin and a few other new characters that players will be introduced to get to take this over, and it becomes the social space and the hub of Rise of Iron.
We got really excited about that idea, like taking over the social space and having it be a place you fight and capture, and then look at how different it is. So
it's cool. Definitely it's a different mood than the tower is a very polished, regal place. The reef is extremely industrial. It's got all that utilitarian spacefaring industry. This is very rustic. Sort of the mountaintop retreat. It looks like it's fallen into disarray over.
It's very remote. You feel like people are just starting to kind of come back into it, and that's a cool feeling.
And we saw a concept of this, but here is an in-game view of the Iron Temple. You've alluded to the fact that we get to pay homage to these Iron Lords who are immortalized as statues now, and that we get to claim rewards from them. We get to, and I guess we'll
honor their memories, learn more about the lore of each of these fallen heroes. And we'll talk about more of that later, I'm sure.
More later, yes. Yes, well, the theme of this is Welcome to Rise of Iron. The sub-theme of this is we'll be talking about this all summer. So this is one of the things that we look forward to you learning more about. And in honoring their legacy and sort of honoring their memory, we will venture into the Plague Lands. This was one of the first concepts I saw. This is pretty wicked, I think. It really captures my imagination, makes me want to go there, makes me want to fight them. Talk to me about what we'll find in this new setting.
Yeah, so this is deep into the Plague Lands. Snow has taken over. It's this harsh, wintry environment. The Fallen have just gone crazy and started erecting all these crazy contraptions and these horrible fortresses using Siva to build this stuff. So yeah, this is going to be a whole new zone. Like I mentioned before, there'll be pretty large space with all kinds of stuff to explore, different settings. But there'll be new patrols here, new public events, new stuff to find.
A new landing zone.
Yeah, new landing zone, absolutely.
This is the first time we've taken an existing destination and then given players a new place to put boots on the ground in that space and explore along a different vector. So you're not going to be landing where you've always landed on Earth. We're actually giving you a new place to touch down and begin your adventure.
Yep.
Fantastic. And as we venture deeper into the Plague Lands, we're going to encounter baddies like this guy.
Oh my God.
Yeah, this guy, I think even Skolos would say, check that out.
Yeah, absolutely.
So this is the result of Siva augmentation?
Yeah, absolutely. You're going to be fighting them in new and exciting ways. They have some new abilities and some new things to do, and that's going to come as a result of this augmentation that they've gone under. And every Fallen House does have splicers, because augmentation is like a big part of their background. And they're more dangerous than ever.
And I know how to fight the Fallen. I know what tactics they use. I know where their soft targets are. Do I know everything about fighting the Fallen Devil Splicers?
They have some new tricks up their sleeve for sure. Yeah, they've modified their weapons. They've modified some of their abilities, and using this new Siva new SIVA mutation. So
Modified their physicality. I mean, what's this guy got on the end of his arm? That's pretty nasty.
yeah, you've got also you saw earlier the dregs have little peg legs. How creepy is that, right? I mean, they already had two of their limbs cut off. Now they've gone further and are turning themselves into little weird little machine mutants.
More machine now than fallen.
Yes.
All right, and what's this? Talk to me about what this is.
That looks cool.
Yeah, so tell me what it is. What is that?
That is a Death Zamboni.
Death
I think
Zamboni.
That's what it is.
All right.
No, that's not the official name.
That's not the official name. Well, it is now. It is now.
Death Zamboni.
Maybe when we actually get to confront this, we'll learn what the actual name is. But so you're not going to tell me what this is?
I don't. That doesn't seem like a good use of time.
Is that the raid team knocking at the door
Yeah,
to get us?
Bar the door. Pile up the furniture in front of the door. Move away from this slide. So this is Destiny. This is a Destiny game, and when I play a Destiny game, I get new stuff that makes me more awesome. Check out this stuff. This looks pretty awesome. Talk to me about what you're doing to my character, or what I get to do with my character if I am brave.
Yeah, awesome new gear. The character team and the concept team have put together some awesome new looks for players to chase after. Obviously, with this being themed around the Iron Lords, we've got a sort of Viking warrior almost theme. You've got fur collars and horns, and you've got that look for the Iron Lords theme. You've got a theme that's based off of the sort of SIVA technology, the Warmind style armor, as you can kind of see in the middle.
We claim things from our enemies and wear them as trophies
Yes.
if we can accomplish the hardest things in Destiny.
Yep.
I love the fact that in Destiny we turn the characters of our game into heraldic knights more than soldiers. I've always loved that regal quality about what the players become in this game.
I think it's also part of showing off what it is you accomplished in the game. If you go and complete, Trials of Osiris or a raid, and like you're wearing the trophy of that, and players can see that accomplishment. So that's super important.
Speaking of Trials of Osiris, so when I acquire new gear, when I acquire new weapons, obviously that stuff makes me more powerful. I upgrade that stuff. That's all part of the the player fantasy. The act of becoming a legend, as we are so fond of saying when we talk about Destiny. But talk to me about
the cat pauldron. I think
the what?
The cat pauldron.
The cat, yes, the cat pauldron. But when we were talking about the April update, people were really excited to learn that their maximum light would increase. Are we doing that again?
We are. Yes, of course.
Okay. So do you want to tell me the new number?
We're actually still, we're gonna wait.
it in.
Yeah, we're gonna dialing it in. I like that phrase, dialing it in. But also, we want to talk about more things later in the summer. But we are definitely raising the light level.
A significant light increase.
A significant light increase.
Yes.
Go ahead and hashtag significant light increase. Help yourselves. So we'll discuss at great length at a later date once we've had a chance to make all of our decisions and lock them in. Exactly what the player progression and the investment systems and how all of that will work. But this is the act of becoming a more powerful legend in Rise of Iron. Okay, cool. And acquiring new weapons and gear, as I understand it, is not the only way in which we will become more powerful. This double-headed battle axe bathed in flame. Talk to me about this thing.
Not a hammer, by the way. There was a little confusion for a little bit about the.
It's a little sharper than a hammer.
It is sharper. Yeah. So this is a relic. That is what we kind of refer to these in game. So this is going to be very. Players will acquire it similar to how they did the Scorch Cannon, for example, or the Vex Shield.
Yes.
So this is a temporary boost of power. They'll find this out in the world. They'll find this in a particular mission, and they'll be able to pick it up and become an ultimate badass with a flaming war axe for some number of minutes until they destroy everything in sight and have used it up. So. I think it's pretty cool. I think Destiny is officially the only game where you can be a space robot wearing a Viking helmet and wielding a flaming battle axe. I think that's a first.
Yeah. We were we might have had a few rumors swirling around this game, and yesterday Irk and I were reading some. We were helping ourselves to some of the NeoGAF as we like to, and there was somebody saying something to the effect of, why is there a future science fiction soldier wearing magical armor holding a flaming axe? And basically the reply to that was,
It's amazing.
It's amazing. Yeah,
because
why-
Destiny.
why
Because
wouldn't-
that's the most Destiny
why
thing that we
wouldn't
could
anyone
imagine.
want that?
Yeah, exactly.
Come on.
All right. So this relic, this battle axe, is an encounter-specific weapon for an interesting moment in the game. Promise me that we will delve deep into
Oh,
this
yeah.
later on this summer.
We'll show it in action, I'm sure.
Okay,
Yeah.
we will show that in action, and we'll explain exactly how that fits into the player experience. And of course, something you can add to your arsenal. If you joined the stream late, and if you don't know yet, it is my profound pleasure to tell you that a rocket launcher called the Gallarhorn is coming back.
Woohoo!
One of the most iconic weapons, one of the most debated pronunciations
I think we got it now.
in our game.
Yeah.
I'm sure anybody from Europe would tell us that we're a bunch of fools, but a lot of times
Gajallarhorn.
I've always told people that it's the Gjallarhorn because the J makes a Y sound.
Sure.
None of these things are accurate. But the
Jelly-
Gallarhorn,
Jellyhorn, I think
if
it's
the
also.
Gallarhorn, as the fans call it, is back in black. If you pre-order,
Iron Black.
Iron Black.
But
Iron
all
and black.
Guardians can acquire the Galahorn if they complete a quest in the game.
So if you are a player of Rise of Iron, the Gallarhorn is back, and it is a reward for completing a quest.
Yes.
So
Not just any quest.
Yeah.
You get to forge a new Gallarhorn from
Hey,
the
it's early. No, go ahead. It's fine.
from
you
the
guys checking each other now.
from
Don't
the
worry about
armor of fallen heroes. So this is it's going to be pretty cool. I think players are going to really
Yeah.
enjoy the
it's-
quest to
So the new message is,
reforge
if
it.
you want a
Yeah.
Gallarhorn,
Build
make
it.
your own.
Yeah.
Make your own. Don't wait
Yep.
for it to drop.
Yeah.
Don't beg me personally on Twitter to tell Xur to sell it, as if I have that authority.
I've done that.
Go make.
You didn't make that happen for
Yeah,
me.
no, I did not make
No,
that.
you did
No,
not.
they don't give me the controls to any of those things because they
No.
know that I'm way too eager to please.
Uh-huh.
So if you want a Gallarhorn, Guardians, prepare to make your own this September 20th.
Yeah.
When Rise of Iron launches. We've actually created something fun. This is sort of a love letter to one of the most iconic weapons in the Destiny arsenal, as well as the effect that it has had on our beloved community. Let's go ahead and roll tape and show them the Gallarhorn.
Galahorn! I just saw Galahorn pop up! Oh my god! I've got Galahorn! Yes! God, it happened!
Pre-order Destiny Rise of Iron and get the Iron Gallarhorn.
Nice. The power, the fury, the wolves again.
Wolves.
More wolves again.
I used to know how. I wish I told you I was going to do this. I can't remember. I used to know how many wolves were on that.
Well,
weapon.
when we revealed the Gallarhorn, we
yeah.
basically told people that it had the highest WPG
Yes,
rating
yes,
of the
yes.
entire arsenal. And that's
That
most
is true.
wolves per gun.
Yes, of course.
So if you want a gun with a whole bunch of wolves on it, go ahead and make it. If you want it in black, pre-order Rise of Iron, and you're going to get yourself one. And you're going to get yourself a whole lot more.
Yeah.
So, guys, thank you so much for welcoming us into your process and talking to us about the things you think about when you create these experiences for us.
Yeah, absolutely. So excited to be able to show this off, and more excited for players to be able to jump into this new world that we've created. I think
Yeah.
it's going to be a lot of fun. I'll be there with them. So
Yeah.
Indeed. And
E3.
yeah, sure.
you wanna go?
What's the next stop on our adventure in talking about Rise of Iron? E3?
I think that's right.
We're both headed
Okay.
to E3.
Yeah, you wanna go?
I will go with you to E3.
Okay, let's
we
do
are
it.
going to be in Los Angeles with everyone in this wonderful industry, this wonderful world of making games. And we're going to be talking to our friends in the media. We may be appearing on a number of different live streams. So keep an eye on the other people who are going to E3 and what they're saying about the world. And you may just catch a glimpse of us letting slip a few more details about Rise of
Too
Iron.
soon.
Yeah, exactly. So it's been a pleasure to have you guys on the couch today. It's
Thanks,
been a
Steve.
pleasure to have all of you in chat. Once again, I'm Deej. It has been my pleasure to host this official reveal stream and our official sources, Game Director Christopher Barrett.
Thank you very much for having me.
Thank you for being here, and Executive Producer Scott Taylor.
I'm glad I could make this happen for you.
You did. You made this happen. You complete me, Scott.
Yeah, that's good.
You complete me.
Happy birthday, Dad, by the way.
Well,
say that.
yes,
yeah.
well, and that's a member of our community.
He is. Yeah.
Your father
played a
plays.
bit.
Yeah,
He's probably
father,
he's
We
doing
could do a
his
whole stream
he's
about
doing
that.
his bounty. He's completing his bounties
Yeah.
right now. I bet.
Yeah, he's not watching the reveal stream.
Yeah, he's
you already
probably
know
not.
everything he
Yes,
needs to know about Destiny.
Yep.
Well, never stop playing games, everybody. And we're going to be talking more about the Rise of Iron all summer long. So please stay tuned to us wherever you pay attention to us. Thank you for playing. We'll see you in the tower, and maybe, just maybe, on a long enough timeline, we'll see you high atop Fellwinter Peak. Thanks for watching. See you soon.
We thought we were indestructible. The Lords of Iron. We swore we would do anything to protect the last city. Some of us paid the ultimate price. I am all that remains. We thought we had sealed away the plague for eternity. But now, it has returned. And this time, with a fallen army. It is time to avenge my brothers and sisters. Stand with me, Guardian. Prove yourself worthy, and the Iron Lords will rise again.
Rated T for teen. Pre-order Destiny Rise of Iron and get the Iron Gjallarhorn.